Hey everyone, Carl here with Literate Lessons, bringing you a deep dive talking about Raikou, Entei, and Suicune this week. This is going to be a little bit more of an impromptu episode. This is something I've been thinking about for a while, and I was interested in looking at these guys as a whole, looking to see what weird things we can do with them and all that kind of stuff. But before we get started on the deep dive here, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications for when new videos go live. It helps us out a ton. We are fast approaching actually 325 subscribers. I did not expect to be reaching that so quickly, so that would be a nice goal to hit by the end of the month. But yeah, so let's talk about these guys over the course of just like a vacuum here. So if you remember anything from Sword and Shield, Entei and Suicune were definitely the more popular versions of the legendary beasts when they were introduced in Crown Tundra. Entei specifically having access to Sacred Fire, it was really cool. Getting to just blow things up, being able to use Stomping Tantrum and whatnot, and Iron Head to get max Quake and max Steel Spike boosts. Thing was great. As for Suicune, it was a good stall Pokemon. It was very bulky, had access to Tailwind. You weren't worrying too much about like max Overgrow or anything like that to deal with you. Max Lightning was rare but still viable. But Raikou overall kind of struggled when it came to the rest of it. Raikou just didn't do as much as Entei or Suicune did. Definitely not the format for Raikou when Max Quake is just running around and you're just really weak to ground. But this format for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl just, for some reason, feels different. Even though Garchomp is one of the most popular Pokemon in the format, spamming Earthquake and whatnot, Raikou does really well in this format. I guess part of it's just like outspeeding it means that you don't have to worry about it as much, whereas like a normal like Sword and Shield format, it's like you could outspeed it all you want, that Max Quake's still hitting you for 75-80% of your HP. But the big things that Raikou gets to do is it kind of just gets to be this like anti-damage mon. That's what I would call it. You get access to things like Snarl and Reflect and Light Screen and all that stuff. And when we talk about sets here in a minute, you'll see that Raikou just overall can just nullify everything that you could ever like think a Pokemon could do. And you have some cool coverage in the form of like Scald and Shadow Ball. I thought you used to get Aura Sphere in Sword and Shield, I think, as an event only. It was an event only move before this, so they took that out. But a lot of what you're doing is setting up a good like screen set, like Light Screen or Snarl or Reflect or whatever you're trying to do, and mitigate damage while just chipping away at things using Volt Switch and or Thunderbolt. As for Suicune in this format, a lot of what it's doing is more of the stally Snarl things that we're used to seeing in Sword and Shield. But you're not doing it with like Icy Wind or something like that. You're playing like Scald, Snarl, Calm Mind, and like Protect, because you just don't want to take extra damage. You can also run Tailwind on that thing. It's not as common because speed control isn't as necessary, I feel like. Suicune doesn't have to worry about like Garchomp hitting it or anything like that for super effective damage, so you can just kind of just set up in front of it, maybe get a lucky Scald burn, get some Snarls off, and just use leftovers in Calm Mind to kind of boost your way into a victory. In role reversal of Sword and Shield, Entei seems to be the weakest of the bunch. Being outsped by Garchomp is a big deal. You have to play Scarf on this thing to get anywhere close to it, which notably Scarf you can easily get to 201 with Scarf, which is like the minimum threshold you want to be at. I could see speccing Entei to Scarf to beat Ludicolo in Rain, because Ludicolo is like 130 something, so you can maybe get to 260 if you're max speed. I'm not sure. But overall, Entei just kind of struggles when it comes to like coverage. You lost Stomping Tantrum, which was a real big deal, giving you decent ground coverage, so you really can't beat up opposing like rock types or steel, like other things that can just like kind of wall you. Heatran's a problem now because Heatran is neutral to rock, and you can't hit it with a fire type attack to take it out because of flash fire. So Heatran kind of walls you in this format. So it's definitely troublesome for Entei trying to break through and find its footing. Not saying it's a bad Pokemon though, it's a real good fire type because fire types are so limited. I think like the other fire types you'd probably play are like Rotom Heat and or Heatran. Arcanine obviously is the best one, having Intimidate, but overall Entei just struggles when compared to some of the other things going on in the format. Looking at some of these sets here, just like quickly here, Raikou, this is my favorite set that I'm currently playing with. Really good bulk, max speed, because we don't really care about like how much damage we deal. We're mainly looking to mitigate damage and can get out of dodge if we need to, and just have something to sit there and spam, that's a little bit more powerful. So Reflect and Snarl are our mitigation aspects here. Reflect helps us against Garchomp. We outspeed it, so our Reflect is going to go up. If we manage to intimidate it beforehand, it also is going to do less damage. I think this set's like a 3-hit KO through Earthquake, so that's really cool. Snarl is also just really, really powerful. I think Snarl is super underrated in this format. My favorite lead is to have Raikou Arcanine just snarl things down, intimidate, spam, or whatever I needed to do. It just answers so many threats in this format and keeps them at bay. And having Volt Switch Thunderbolt as your only damaging moves outside of Snarl means that you can kind of be dead to Garchomp if that's a one-on-one situation. You could easily swap Volt Switch for like Scald, or play Shadow Ball to be able to deal with like a Cresselia if you really have to like solo it down. But overall, I think having Volt Switch is just really, really powerful. Being able to switch out in a bad situation off of a Pokemon that it might just take a couple neutral hits will benefits you more than just having that weaker Scald or that weaker Shadow Ball. As for Suicune, like I said, it wants to do the bulky stall things like it was doing in Sword and Shield. Calm Mind, Snarl, Scald, Leftovers, Tailwind, you can play Protect, you can play Roar, you can play... you get Extra Sensory, you get Extreme Speed, Shadow Ball, Substitute. If you Mirror Coat's an option in this format because Dynamax isn't a thing, so you can just take a real good powerful special hit and then just blow something up. It's that easy. You get access to Sheer Cold because Oko moves are back in the game again. You have Leer if you wanted to do something like that, do like a fast Leer Suicune. There's so many things that you can do with this Pokemon. The downsides are it's just maybe not enough damage to suffice saying against like an opposing Raikou, or if you manage to find yourself against like an opposing grass type. Grass types, however, are just like non-existent, I feel like, in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. You either play Breloom or Executor, and that's it. You could pair this against with like a Hail Setter for Blizzard spam. That's something cool. Overall, this set is fairly bulky. We are enough HP where we get maximum leftover recovery. We got real good defenses, investments. We don't really care about investing in our special attack because we have Calm Mind, and then we have 109 speed, which is like my speed minimum when we were like close to that 100 range. 109 gets you to the point of it's 4 EVs, 4 EV Rotom is the big thing, because 4 EV Rotom is 108, so you get to 109 and you can outspeed everything trying to outspeed that, if that makes sense. I'm always about speed creeping, trying to get to the next level, trying to next level people. If you catch them off guard, get a speed advantage on them, you're going to be great. One of the big things in this format, though, is just making sure you outspeed. So that's why we have Tailwind here. Tailwind helps you outspeed your opponent, means that you can flinch them first, you can get your status off first, things like that. This last Pokemon set here for Entei here, this is a Choice Scarf set. I feel like this is the only way you can safely play Entei without having a bunch of Intimidate and other stuff like that. Choice Scarf's really cool because you get access to really fast Snarl, really fast Bulldoze. You can hit like a fast Stone Edge on a Togekiss or something, take it out of the game real quick. You get fast Sacred Fire for things like Scizor, or wanting to try and burn a Garchomp or other physical attacker that way. 134 gets you to 201, which if you wanted to, you can take some of this bulk out and you can try and get to let me see here, let me do the math here. 152 puts you at 75, 76, 228, which obviously isn't great, but it's better than nothing. If you wanted to, you can run Jolly, which is 167. Well, 167 puts you at, that's 80, 81, 82, 83. 167 puts you at 240 something. I think it's like 242 or something, like 240. 243, is that the number? I can't remember. I can't do math. It's late. I'm recording this later than I normally do. But I would aim for at least minimum 134. And I would try to be max speed. Overall, you kind of just want that extra like bulk investment, which is fine. 92 HP is a good round number. 20 and 36 for your defenses is fine. Puts you at even numbers for stuff, for whatever you need it to. But overall, I feel like Raikou has the most upside of the bunch right now. You have the most variety of the sets. You can be offensive with like Life Orb. You can do like Life Orb Scald and Shadow Ball and stuff like that. I like Scald a lot in this format, mainly to being able to hit Garchomp and maybe burn him is really, really good. The fact that you outspeed Garchomp as well is just a good thing, and no one's expecting Scald. Everyone's expecting you to like set Reflect or set Snarl, and then just kind of get him right there. You have Volt Switch, you can do like Calm Mind. I actually think I would rather have Discharge and Calm Mind, and then like Protect with Life Orb, so you can do like Quake things up alongside like a Garchomp. You can discharge one turn, protect the next turn, discharge, and kind of do that pattern, get your opponent locked into trying to predict that pattern, then set up a Calm Mind on the turn you try to protect, and like hit him with like a Rock Slide or something. You probably would want to be max speed, real good at special attack investment. Make sure you probably have enough investment to like 2-hit KO a Garchomp with Scald or something. Stuff like that. As for Suicune, it's a lot harder to venture out away from like the leftovers set. You can probably like slap a Scarf on it and do Bulldoze things or fast Snarl things as well. You can always put a Berry on it and try to be the bulky Stallmon that you always wanted to be. I think Roar is super underutilized too. Everything in this format wants to set up on you, so being able to reset those is really, really good. Yeah, Mirror Coat's super underutilized too. Just things to think about when you're building your Suicune, trying to find unique stuff to do. As for Entei, you're not going to get much better than a Choice Scarf set, probably. You can probably play like a Shuka Berry set and try to like live a hit from Garchomp and maybe Sacred Fire, get a burn, and try to take care of it that way. You could do like Sun things and specials and be like special Entei with Eruption. That'd be really, really cool. Your special access is a little bit worse. You don't get anything really cool outside of fire moves and Snarl. So you get like Snarl, Eruption, max speed, max special attack, go Timid. Probably make this a Choice Specs or something. Like Specs Eruption seems really, really powerful on this thing. You could add Torkoal alongside it, get boosted in Sun. You could also play like Flamethrower just in case Eruption's bad, stuff like that. You also get Shadow Ball as well, so you could probably do something weird like this and might be able to get away with it. You definitely would be weak to Garchomp, but can easily like get a lucky burn, or maybe even like have your team just kind of help out against it. But overall, I think these guys are some of the better Pokemon in the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl format. I've only ever really seen Raikou, but I think the rest of them are very, very powerful and super underutilized right now in what they can do. But with that being said, I want to thank you all for hanging out and listening to me ramble about the legendary dogs today. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at Lessons, myself at Musical VGC, Carter's at Mr. Missouri 25. Go catch Carter's Twitch stream. He's playing through Blue Kaiser right now. You can go catch him at twitch.tv/Mr. Missouri 25. And make sure to go and leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're wanting to. We were really close to that 325 mark. I did not realize that we were going to be growing this fast past 300, so I would love to see more people subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at in the world, and we will see you all on Friday with Sizor. Bye, everyone.